These images and sounds were produced in a GCSE graphic design class. It's an expression of what can be achieved when inspiration and innovation combine at school. Here, the potential for creativity is as big as cyberspace, and that goes for both pupils and teachers across the curriculum. Jeff Joseph Technology College at Sale Moor in Greater Manchester is considered to be a pioneer of broadband technology. In this programme, we'll be looking at how it's grasping new opportunities to engage pupils and prepare them for a digital future.
At the moment, you can see in the library I've got this GIF file, which is called Logo White.
The school is at the vanguard of change, not necessarily because staff had the foresight to spot the distant dawning of a new age, but because it was desperate to find a way of halting decline. The college decided to install broadband in 1995 and never looked back, thanks to a teacher, now called the director of ICT, Peter Mercer.
I've been involved in ICT since the very early days of the BBC Model A computers coming into school. I was the first person to open a computer box in this school, and I've been pushing it and driving it for a long, long time. But I've also had very, very, very supportive heads who've seen the opportunities, have seen what it can do for some children, and they've supported me.
We'll also be seeing how Jeff Joseph College developed links outside school. It shares resources with local primaries, including Brooklands, which is taking its own lead in ICT, investing in equipment and specialist staff. And it took the initiative to open a community learning centre for those who missed out on a digital education. Bector, the British Educational, Communications and Technology Agency, ranks the Jeff Joseph College in the top 5 of all secondaries because of its work in and out of school. We visited the college to discover what marks it out, and we took a man from Bector with us. The college takes pupils from 2 local authority areas, 40% from Manchester and 60% from Trafford, a selective authority. The head teacher at Jeff Joseph is Kathy Lever.
I think it would be fair to say that when we were first established as a technology college, that very much the thinking was developing the ICT. Then, due to the developments in education and due to the changes of employment and what employers are looking for and providing students with the skills necessary to exist in the outside world, ICT has been pushed forward within the college. We've also found with our students that they are motivated, it does engage them in their learning.
ICT development began with a 2 megabits broadband connection. The impact on motivation was marked and immediate.
12 years ago, we were probably considered to be a failing school. We had an intake of 90, and the roofs were leaking. It wasn't a very comfortable place to be. When Grant Maintain got Specialist Technology College Trust status, and things have been on the up and up and up since then.
The school now has a 10 megabits broadband connection, which provides software and internet access for all lessons across the curriculum. Members of staff also have access to the network from home.
This is the hub of our school network. Got a range of switches here which connect to different rooms in different parts of the schools. Basically all the computers in the school come through these switches. And on my left, I've got a rack of servers, something like 13 servers in there. Most of them are doing different jobs. We've got 2 admin servers, a couple of curriculum servers. We've got an e-portal server. We've got another server that filters our internet traffic for us. So, a number of servers, all doing a number of different jobs for us.
The ICT transformation is reflected in the story of Leslie Anson, who arrived at the school with problems reading and writing and an expectation of working in a local factory. He's now about to graduate in business and information systems and is looking forward to a career in web design after he returns from a tour of Asia.
My spelling and my sort of maths and mathematical skills and that weren't the best in sort of for my age. And I think using PCs, it just sort of helps you overcome that because you've got a calculator on your desktop, you've got spell checkers and that type of thing. So it's just, it gives you that extra confidence really to be able to type a document in 5 minutes rather than worrying about your spelling and spending half an hour on it.
The technology tools making the biggest impact are interactive whiteboards. Every member of staff is equipped with laptops to create their lessons.
Okay. Now I've jumbled up 3 events from the first scene from Macbeth. Can anyone tell me what order that should be in? What should it start with? Monique?
Macbeth meets 2 murders alone.
Macbeth meets 2 murderers alone. That should be first. Good. What comes after that, please? Matthew? Right, first of all, he persuades them that Banquo is their enemy. And then finally, once he's done that, of course, it makes sense that he uses psychological pressure to manipulate the murderers.
English teacher Frank Farrell embraces change and still finds use for his horn.
The techniques that I've been using are very, very simple. I can teach people them, and I do teach people them in training. 5 or 10 minutes for most of those things that I did today. Hyperlinking, drag and drop, gap fill. So I can teach in very short space of time. And that's the beauty of it, is that it's not anywhere near as complicated as it looks to learn how to do it. That frees you up to think of, well, how can I exploit this technique in a creative and effective way?
So it made a huge difference to your teaching?
Absolutely. It's completely different to what I would have been teaching just 5 years ago.
Does it make the teaching more rewarding?
Yes, because for me, teaching is about orchestrating the experience of the children in the classroom, and this gives me a whole new tool that I can use and put together to create just the sort of experience I'm trying to create.
Can you actually perceive a different response amongst the pupils?
Yeah, as soon as you get something up on the screen, you get a lot more interest from the children.
It's easier to see because if you're a visual learner, all of it's in front of you and it's linked to the laptop, so the teacher can tell the whole class rather than go around individually.
You find the language quite difficult?
Yeah, but we've got a little translator thing. There's like a line-up of all the words and it tells you what they mean. So you can just tell and see what they mean.
It sinks in more easily.
Yeah.
Peter Wayne from Bector is impressed by the way interest is stimulated in Shakespeare, but believes there's scope for further interactivity.
What you would want to see eventually, possibly, is pupils using the interactivity of the whiteboard. We may have got to a situation where the pupils are going to do that, where the teacher's bringing pupils up to the front of the classroom and they're actually engaging with the rest of the class, utilising the interactivity.
Graphic design is an obvious beneficiary of ICT. At the Jeff Joseph College, imagination and creativity are unleashed with the help of iPhoto and iMovie programmes. Pupils have won national Bector Awards for digital video and digital music after being inspired by the technology and their teacher, Stuart Pybus.
You actually physically get news thrown at you from the front line of war. The point of this lesson is for the students to analyse, to research, and to use digital media in a way that allows them to express their opinions and to give an informed opinion about what is going on in the world around them, about things that are important to them, or alternatively things that they see just passing them by. There's a lot happening in the world today, a lot happening in the news every single day. I work with students who all of a sudden have that desire to do something a little bit more and a little bit different, and you've got to keep ahead of the game with that. You've got to keep looking and you've got to keep thinking, and also it's got to be real. It's not realistic, but it's got to have emotion in there as well.
We're just finding images from the internet on the news and then importing them into iPhoto library so that we can select them and put them on like an animation, a film strip, so you can see one after the other.
Well, the teacher's a very impressive teacher that really has a vision about what he wants to get out of his lessons. He's very clear about his objectives, what he wants for the students. But more than that, really, is the way the students just naturally utilise ICT to enhance their learning. There wasn't any student there balked about what they were going to do. It was obvious to me that that's just what they do. They use ICT and it's embedded totally in their learning.
ICT and geography came together for a competition called Experience Pakistan, organised by an international computer firm, which involved creating a digital video. The Jeff Joseph entry won, and 3 pupils were given the chance to tour Pakistan with geography teacher Sue Griffiths.
Obviously the content is important and we had to follow quite strict criteria.
but it has to engage the person that's watching the presentation, and so the ICT is paramount, really, using it in a way that catches people's attention and keeps them watching.
I suppose it demonstrates how pupils can use and exploit the skills they've learned here in the ICT class in all sorts of other classes.
Absolutely, it's used across the curriculum, and certainly in a lot of subjects it's a very valuable research tool. For students that find it harder to get things down in writing, or if it takes a long time, it makes a whole difference to the way they tackle their schoolwork and obviously their attainment at the end of the day.
Of course, the winning pupils produced a DVD of their visit.
It was really, really good. It was an amazing experience.
What was the best part?
The cultural show that one of the schools put on for us. They did quite a few dances for us and songs, and at the end we all got to get up and dance with them. So it was almost like a big party.
It was better than the Khyber Pass, was it?
The Khyber Pass was very interesting, but I enjoyed mixing with the actual kids from the school.
Pupils studying ICT as a subject are piloting the Diploma in Digital Applications, or DIDA, a totally paperless exam. It comes in 4 units, the equivalent of 4 GCSEs, although pupils can complete 2 units, which counts as 2 GCSEs. The diploma demands an ability to prepare and present databases, surveys and reports using a wide range of programming on an e-portfolio, which can be accessed by tutors and examiners.
We had to produce a website including all the projects that we had to do, like a brainstorm and a plan. So what we had to do, we just had to introduce links to the file so that the markers could examine it.
We had to create an e-portfolio to present all the work that we did. So we had to create a home page that had information about us and our centre numbers and things. And then we had to put all the work into one contents page.
So everyone's had to do a database, a survey, a letter, presentation?
Yeah. We all had to complete all of these tasks.
What was the most difficult part?
It was the database, because it was quite confusing to do. Very complicated.
The diploma is run by EdExcel and overseen by the North West Learning Grid. Their project manager is Diane Lee.
Really, DIDA is a qualification that will engage creative uses of ICT rather than what has been traditionally done, more business-related ICT. So it will move away from purely office-based environment IT and move into digital content as well.
So you can see the logic of doing a paperless exam for an ICT qualification.
Yes.
Has it got any other implications? What's the future hold?
I think the future holds a number of different options for this paperless qualification system. What we will do is we will be able to test and see the rigidity of the platform of an e-portfolio, and certainly developments at the moment are suggesting that will be embedded ICT qualifications into English, science and maths in the future.
Layers always go in above the one that you've got selected at the moment. So I've got the background layer selected, I click on Insert New Layer, and Layer 3 goes in above the background but below Actions. As usual, I have done all this as well using Captivate. So once I've talked you through it...
The diploma is being taught using the Captivate programme. Pupils here are being shown how to improve their skills using Flash. The whiteboard demonstration is being captured in the system, so anyone who doesn't take it all in now can call up the lesson later.
It's a really kind of helpful program for this kind of work because, I'd say I'm quite good at computers, but if you get stuck on any of the programs that you're not used to, you have the Captivate files and you can just go through the whole film and you can just look at exactly what you're supposed to do, and you can pause it at any time you want. So you can pause it, do some of the work and then go back to it.
Quite interested in what they were doing, this new award that they're piloting here, because it looks very innovative. It's sort of developing children's creativity. It seemed to be very inclusive, what I was told, that pupils could learn 2 modules or take 2 modules or 4 modules. And I thought it was very relevant to getting children with very high ICT skills that they've got here a qualification that will be useful for them in the world of work as it is today.
Away from the Jeff Joseph College, ICT teachers can be found in 3 local primary schools, including Brooklands School.
This is what movies use. They use a timeline. Things change over time. I click here, there's my shape, I double click on the timeline.
Brooklands is linked by landline to the network at Jeff Joseph, but also has its own server to avoid becoming totally dependent. This is another lesson about Flash, a valuable preparation for work at secondary school, especially for pupils who take the new diploma in digital applications.
Nice and easy. We're introducing this at Year 6 here, mainly because it was a request from teachers. We have done web pages with Year 6, and this was a way of including some animation on those web pages. We go into primary schools, we teach classes like this one, share good practice with the primary school teachers, hopefully so they can take the programme forward on their own in future.
There's no doubting the enjoyment these pupils get from ICT, once it works for them.
Nice ICT teacher, he teaches fun things and good lessons.
Is he different to your other teachers?
Yeah.
In which way?
He uses the computers more than writing. He sort of explains things more easier.
It's kind of easy, but he's just got parts that it's really hard with, like editing it and stuff, the different texts.
What's your favourite part of this subject?
Watching it.
Watching it?
After, yeah.
What exactly have you written there?
Yo chicken, what's up?
It's not a common Manchester expression, though.
Nope. It's American.
I'm not very good at this kind of thing.
You've done that, all right, haven't you?
Yeah, but I don't know what to do now.
Well, Mr. Sutherland will tell you. Have you asked him?
In snake, because I think that was
No, not yet.
Mr. Sutherland?
Yes.
Some help's needed here.
All right, what can I do for you?
I don't know what to do now.
Right, well, hang on. What we've got is somebody different. I'm a familiar face when the pupils who do come to Jeff Joseph, and I enjoy it.
Is it a bit of a shock, going from secondary to primary teaching?
Yes. I mean, it's the demands of the children. Everybody's so keen, and everybody wants instant help, which is difficult. I mean, I've got nothing but admiration for primary school teachers who have to deal with this all the time.
Right, we're nearly there. Make the change necessary.
At Brooklands, Phil Cottis is both the head teacher and the ICT coordinator.
Right, so it's going forward, it's making its left turn. We need to think about the time it takes from there to there before it starts to make its next turn. So that's your next step, is to work on that. All our software, which is held on the network and on the service, is held by Jeff Joseph. Managing a network is a very time-consuming and difficult job. Why not use the expertise that is available at a technology college? And that's what we do. We use their expertise to help us deliver our ICT curriculum. Being a technology college, they come across new initiatives. They are at the forefront of new initiatives. And that filters down to us, because if they want to start something up new and they want to expand it, then they come to Brooklands and say, well, do you want to take part in this initiative? Do you want to see how this goes?
Brooklands also has its own specialists in ICT, who act as a cross between technicians and teaching assistants, managing the system, supporting staff, and also taking classes themselves. Angela Heap comes in 22 hours a week, while Anne Purchase works at the school full-time.
I think in the school this size and the facilities we have, it's absolutely a necessity. I think the teachers don't have the time, and some of them the training that I've had, to be able to look at software, websites and research and learn all the things that there are. I mean, it's just moving forward so quickly all the time.
I work with both Year 3 teachers, and we plan the numeracy together, and that enables me to know the topics that we're going to cover for that week, to know the learning objectives for each lesson, and I can use that to plan my sessions up here in the ICT suite.
Apart from classroom computers, the school has 2 suites with nearly 60 machines dedicated to ICT. One linked to Jeff Joseph College and the other with its own server.
Can you please read it for me?
Yeah.
Can you say hello to Iko?
The rooms are also used for other specialist lessons, like Italian, taught 1 day a week by a teacher paid for by the Italian government. The glove puppet works for nothing. So cuddly toys just as important as new technology?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's important, for them, it's important. And because puppets can talk and they can teach something, and it's funny, you know, they like it.
How do the resources in English classrooms compare to Italian classrooms?
Well, it depends on the school. I'm working in 4 different schools. In this school, I've got many resources, so I can work very well.
Brooklands has been able to push ahead because of the support it gets from Jeff Joseph College, but also because of a local training company that passes on hardware and a parent-teachers association that funds equipment, such as these control technology kits. The school has everything else you might expect in place: laptops for staff, a wireless network and interactive whiteboards. Unfortunately, some are more interactive than others.
We want to put more interactive whiteboards and projectors into school. We would like to equip every classroom. That cost, because of the equipment provided by firms, businesses, local businesses, isn't too bad. We can afford to do that. What is the problem is the cost of providing security, when we could be talking between £2,000 and £4,000, providing grills on the window and the necessary secure doors.
We've had too many intruders onto the premises. We've had members of staff who've been pushed out of the way while somebody grabs the overhead projector off the ceiling. So we are looking at everything that we can do to tighten up security. We took down all the overhead projectors, and they've been out of use for about 5 or 6 months. And every building, every room where they are, we're looking at increasing and improving the security. We have to do that.
Jeff Joseph College is also reaching out to students of the past who missed out on ICT. Members of staff run this community learning centre, linked to the college network, in partnership with the local authority and local residents. It's supported by the new Learning in Deprived Communities Fund.
If we can help the adults in the community have a greater sense of learning from the college, they're going to, I think, help us educate their children. There'll be a better sense of partnership between us and the local community. And if the adults see the value of the learning that they're actually doing. And the other thing is we're hoping to run parent-pupil sessions within the centre as well, so that if we have students who are disaffected within college, we could run some courses with them and their parents within the centre. And that's going to bring a sort of closeness between the college and the local community.
This Learning Centre tutor was herself an adult student on a computer course run by the college. Today she's passing on what she's learned to a young mother anxious to catch up.
To be honest, I just used to mess about at school and I didn't really pay any attention. So now the children are at full-time school. Now, you know, I'm concentrating on my own studies now.
4 or 5 years ago, I don't know about the computer. I never touched computer before. But I have started all the computer courses and now I learn everything now. I can do things and then I can help all the pupils here.
I hope I'll get my numeracy level 1 and 2 so I can eventually go and get a job, because at the minute I'm not skilled up enough in order to get a job.
Where would you like to work?
Either hair and beauty or secretarial work.
One of the big priorities of managing change is keeping staff up to speed and acknowledging that not everyone believes broadband is beautiful. Anne Keast is a former England cricketer turned drama teacher who inspires pupils without the help of a laptop.
One of the things I hate about these things is that if I'm getting a problem with it, I'll ask for somebody's help, and a computer buff will not tell me, will literally just stretch across the keyboard, flash the fingers across the keyboard, and then say, well, that's it then, and then walk away doing something else. That absolutely annoys me tremendously for the simple reason I haven't seen what's happened. They've taught me nothing. I know nothing. So as a result, I still get this fear of the computers. And if I'm frightened of something, I'll just move back away from it.
We ran an inset day on Monday, of which we ran workshop sessions looking at multimedia, of which within that we had 20 members of staff who were involved in that workshop session. I think that says something about staff want to learn, they want to get on board. You will always have staff in schools who say it's not for me, yeah? But what you do is you work with those who are enthusiastic and keen, and then you find that the rest of the staff usually come on board.
Stuart.
Anne did attend the workshop on the inset day, and the computer buffs have taken on board her comments.
I don't think I could use it in my drama lessons because the kids are more expert than I am. They have more expertise. And so, therefore, I need to develop that, and I need to give myself time to come in here and stretch my own skills.
Members of staff have taken advantage of the Teachers' International Professional Development Programme to look at ICT, amongst other things, at schools in Japan. They were gratified to find the technology was no more advanced in Tokyo than in Sale Moor, except when it came to video conferencing.
We have tried video conferencing, and I've been to a number of schools where they use video conferencing, but I've never, ever really seen it used effectively. Now, that's my ignorance more than anything else. I'm sure I could go to a number of languages colleges and find out exactly where it is being used effectively. I was in Tokyo looking at education in Tokyo 18 months ago. I saw the video conferencing used there, but there were too many children standing around, very quiet, very embarrassed, very shy, so it's the first time they'd used it. And I've not really seen it used effectively yet.
Of course, there's no point in having a network if it won't work.
Our e-portal server, I don't think it's ever crashed, and we've never turned it off, and we've had it up and running for 4 years. Some of the Citrix servers, we've had them go down once a week. I would like to think that I'd be able to employ a network manager on a really good salary without too much stress so that I could have some sort of continuity. And when I retire, because I'm getting close to that age, the school won't be phoning me up every week for some advice on what to do next about the computer network. But in fact, it's a lot of money that's required to be able to do that.
The money will be found to maintain the system because the college won't let anything get in its way. If necessary, it'll borrow what's needed to keep pace with progress.
Gone are the days of where people used to have a job for life or a career for life. Nowadays, we're looking at where a person may have 3 or 4 different careers in their lifetime. And we have got to prepare our young people for that in the outside world.
We have to get used to change. Change will not stop.
Continuous change.
It's continuous change.